breakfast is still technically open, but yesterday was a lot and I have some work to do.
Can you hear that?
So these were an exciting find. I'm a little bit leery of the fact that the lychee is sour, but it should hopefully be nice. So as like your resident sick bitch neat freak, I will say my one complaint about the room is that there isn't a couch, because I do not want to like get into bed with my dirty clothes that I've been out and about in, and there's nowhere else to lie down from my chronic fatigued ass. We have like a really nice balcony that I haven't used yet, but that is also 2 seats, and like I get it, but sometimes a bitch has just got to lie down. The plan had been to bring a copy of the Argonautica with me for some topical reading and to vlog. Unfortunately, the book arrived 50 minutes after we left, so I do have another book with me, but it's really just a case of like, I hope that we get to go into the old town soon, but there is a strike today and I don't know whether that's going to be extended. I've not been keeping up with that. I keep meaning to go out there, but it has unfortunately been another holiday where I, of course, get sick the moment I arrive. Well, a flare up technically, but like, I don't agree with the 5 stars that this hotel has. Personally, I would have said a 3, but like the amenities offered were pointed out by Dad. Oops, shouldn't have said that. Treating myself to a 3 o'clock breakfast. I've been thinking a lot about Malta. I know I've gotten worse health-wise since then, and that's why I'm leaving everything. But it is so stark how much worse I am now. I've had a headache since the plane, and every day I felt like crying with pain and exhaustion, and that's fine because that's not out of the ordinary for me on a day-to-day basis, but it just sucks that it's here. And even if I do get better before we leave, I'm gonna have to do this again on the other side. Dad has a cold, of course. I don't know where he caught it. It was Mum's neighbours who were coughing all night long, so I hope I don't get it. For all that I don't really like resorts, just on principle, I was one of the ones who was pushing for this place rather than somewhere in the old town, which I feel vindicated by, given how difficult it was to traverse. But the reason I wanted to come here was because pool. So it is a shame that it's taken until now to get to it, but it looks a nice enough afternoon, so hopefully it will be a good time. It's so sweet. I texted over, I'll come over, help me with my back with like the sunscreen. The next thing I know, there's like a very urgent banging on the door, like, are you okay? Did you throw your back out? Very sweet. This is that. This is the last ice cream. I'm gonna really miss that, but seems that I've lost my mask, and so I'm a little bit terrified of this flight. But we'll see how it goes. So that didn't even last 12 hours. Just completely coming apart. Even here, look. So it's nice to come back and immediately like have an order come in. There was among my group a medical emergency on the flight. So on top of everything that's just generally wrong with me, the stress. The stress. I feel like I need another break just from that, but it's fine. Because we have kind of a break. We have this hand cream from Round Lab, which, you know, I was to myself, I was like, £23 for an order, including shipping. I'm not happy to do it, but you know, I will stretch my budget for these 10 things. Apparently this is £30. So, I feel a lot better about my choices. I also got a lip scrub. I don't know what a lip scrub is, but it's honey and milk, and that sounds really nice. And then these are foot mask, face mask. Farmstay, I think is that brand. From Mediflower, this is a glacier water face mask, and then from APLB we have this face mask, glutathione niacinamide. Listen, I thought it sounded good at the time. I have no idea what these are at the moment. I think I found it. I don't know why I'm like so preoccupied with keeping this in the order that it is, because I don't think that ever mattered, but ooh. Here you are. So the first week was not great. I'd completely forgotten the time difference, and so when the bus came to pick us up, I was just kind of logging on to Zoom for my course, and then we had to go around all the hotels and the luggage check-in and security, and I have some notes, but not that many, unsurprisingly. Yesterday's 8 hours of kids on bikes was, well, it was 8 hours, you can you can imagine. I said, I know it's hard that I'm leaving early and you're having to like speed things up, and that sucks, and I genuinely don't want to make things worse for the other players. Like, I don't want to have to like speed through their things, but like I said, oh, I can't, I can do 2 more, we've got 2 more sessions, but I could pop in for an hour or two if you don't, and on one hand I get it, because it does genuinely suck to be leaving. On the other hand, it's like, there's a reason you're leaving, and the fact that you cannot like stick to it.
Sound effects.
Well, you will have space. I was kind of thinking that this would be like an Evanescence October, but Have You Listened to This Album poll is really pulling me off track, because there's been a little Alicia Keys and a little Beyonce and Whitney Houston, and I think that might be the vibe, but I still have a lot of writing to do on A Stilling in the Storm. I cannot for the life of me remember what that book is called, so it might just be the She again, which isn't bad. So the thing is, with alternating weeks between Dungeons and Dragons and Kids on Bikes, the next game would have been on the 5th, which obviously I was away then. And so it's this weekend, the 19th, where my brain is like, oh, Dungeons and Dragons is coming up. And obviously it's not, because I've left. I don't know, it's just kind of, it's not letting me get over it, I guess. Which is fine, because I was kind of avoiding that emotional toll. But still, it also feels good, I want to say. Partially because, we came back and we all had the cold. But yeah, no, the idea that I could just be a couch potato or lie in bed and I don't have to go is exciting. And so is the idea that I could get some work done, which should not be the case. Like, I haven't been taking my Saturdays off, but yeah, I'll probably have more thoughts on Sunday itself. This is the album, by the way. It's really good. Okay, so that's really bad lighting. Okay. Okay, so this is like my second clothes purchase of the year. I'm trying to be a lot more conscientious, is not the word, discerning in like my wardrobe. Because if you saw that video, you know that I'm really not happy with it. And so this is kind of like a step in that direction. I'm not that much of a retro person, but I really like the vibes of it. It is very Chinese. Um, and it does go with some of the things that I have, which is, but I wasn't like aiming for like one style anyway. I just like too many different like aesthetics and stuff, so I thought this would be lovely. It is from eCrafts London. They have a lot of really nice things. They had like really nice hand dyed dresses. I didn't get any of those because it kind of, I was a little bit worried about like the washing. So I recently saw a video talking about procrastination as like a way to avoid pain, and I scrolled on by it after a few seconds because sure, whatever, but it's kind of making more sense to me now, unfortunately. I have had a lot of deadlines taking up my time, so there hasn't been any progress this month, but yeah, the constant headache that came with the rush. There have been like days when it's not been constant, but I think I've had, even to this point, a headache every day since. And the chest pain, the anxiety, the discomfort of like the bad posture, the lack of sleep. Yeah, I think there is a part of me that is procrastinating getting back into it because I don't want to be in pain. So I'm not actually going to write. I had kind of hoped that the spa night would be like for funsies and not to perk us up because we're all sick, but I will take what I will take what we've got. That said, the constant sales are going to do me in. I cannot resist. I cannot. Last time it was like 10 things for £23, including shipping. And there's a little voice in the back of my head that's like, oh, but I'm sure you could beat that. I'm sure you could beat that. So the good news is that Mum really liked it. The bad news is that for me, I didn't know I had that scratch, that big red scratch on my arm. And it showed up because I put the very, 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 very wet excess moisture from the sheet mask on my arms. And it has not gone well for me at all. So I don't think I look too heinous at the moment, but I'm probably not going to be showing up on camera for a wee while yet. So I may have gone a little overboard in restocking my room, but I am actually going to be taking my day off today for the first time in a while. And yeah, I think there's 3 episodes out so far. I'd like to catch up on that before it gets too far ahead of me. You know, I was so excited because there's like a Ciara album and I love Want to Step, and there was the Nelly one and I love Dilemma. And Brandy, like The Boy Is Mine, and I thought, great. And there's Christina as well, her first one, and I thought this is going to be like a really cool deep dive into like when I kind of started to get into music, I guess, because I don't really have any memories of that before we moved to Scotland. But no, it's the Tracy Chapman albums that are really doing it for me. And there's a Leonard Cohen one which I'm really excited about as well. So, I'm feeling like October isn't really getting happier as a month, which I had hoped since there aren't like any major goodbyes this month, but oh well. Tell you what is happy though, I got my cover. It's done. I just gotta fucking write the book now, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I cannot wait to show you, and I'm going to be a real bitch about it. And I think uh, I'm not going to post it until the 14th of February. I don't think. So the whole living with people who have the flu is um, steadily making me worse. So we're kind of not doing the work that I was supposed to do today. Still getting work done, and to be fair, my day off I was also doing some Y25 stuff. But yeah, this is not good, and it's going to be overall much more stressful. But a friend reached out this morning to kind of be like, hey, you said 8 hours every 2 weeks is too much. How about we cut it down to 4? And like, I really appreciate that, but at this point, if I had it my way, and this wouldn't fuck her over, I would just not be going back. Just because I wasn't lying when I said I think I need a reset, especially starting like occupational therapy work. But like, it's just a lot, and then it's like conserving the energy to get there. And yeah, I think I'm just done with it for the moment. Like, if I'm being honest, I am actually a little bit worried because I said, to the Caledonian Starlight Guild, I'd love to run like a 1-2 shot for you guys sometime next year, and I would, and I really like the story. I really am looking forward to like digging into it, but hopefully the occupational therapy will have made me a little bit better by then. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it's gonna be that much better. I don't even know if I'm a little bit uncertain about like the one shot that I promised 2 friends, and that's such a small group, and I love them, and I love playing with them, but I also just, I don't know. You wanna know what's so fun? I just got a notification from Kofi, and I've had to disconnect Stripe because I'm not giving you a fucking photo of my face. All this fucking verification shit. Yeah, and also that just leaves me with PayPal, who may have disappeared some money from my account, and I just haven't sorted it out yet. I completely forgot I had to do that. I hate this. I don't even want to be upright right now. So the last time I got sick, I'm pretty sure I said to myself, you've got to stop watching. You've got to stop watching horror games late at night when you can't sleep. And of course, oh boy. So I was watching old Swell Entertainment videos, and I got to the one about underconsumption core, and she talked about like doing a no buy like after Christmas and stuff, after you've like gotten into the habit of buying, just to kind of break it. And I kind of like that, but for me that's never really worked because it makes me think then about money in a way that it makes me more like hyper aware of all the things that I want to buy. And I bring this up because I am, of course, very sick at the moment and I have nothing better to do because it's not, the brain is not liking work mode very much. And also, like, 3 Kickstarters that are very appealing have started up at the same time, and it's like, and the problem is, I could very easily just be like, it's fine, you know, I can buy them later if I still want them. But a part of me is also like, but early bird is on right now, and you'll never be able to get them this cheap again. And that is also true. And I will always, always take the cheapest option if I can. But like, there's this beautiful gothic book about the vintage romance covers that I just absolutely love, and it's from a publisher that you can stack up another book from that publisher that I wanted for years, but it's also like from America, so that so it is very much like, oh god, this is going to be tariffs. I've never seen the shipping that high for something from America before. To be fair, it is also like heavy hardcover books, but also just, I don't know, I don't want to pay $40 for shipping. Estimated, it could be higher, and then there's also that when it arrives. And I just, oh boy. But also, like, there's a dress, also from America. And they both come out around like £150, the 2 books and the dress. But at least the dress is like custom made. Anyway, I am fully in like window shopping mode, and it is very annoying. Are you kidding me? For one, you didn't have anything smaller. So I will not be going to Kids and Bikes today, which I think we all knew. But I just didn't want to admit it. I did give warning before. You know, I wasn't. Wait, today? Today's Sunday. No, today's Saturday. This isn't. It's tomorrow. It's. And I didn't want to do today and the next session, the last session. It was more than I felt I could do, but cancelling it feels. I think it's also because I'm realising that I'm not going to see tomorrow, you know? And I didn't see her last week at D&D, and it's like, wow, I see her. I used to see her every week, and now I will not, and yeah. And nothing, like, this is nothing untoward with any of the other players, but it was like a very clear delineation of like, you're great and we have a good time. We don't talk outside of it. But not having that time with her, yeah, that's going to be hard to come to terms with. Hello. Today has been a from the bedroom to the bathroom is enough to make my legs shake. So I don't think I will be having my Halloween movie night with friends after all either. So I tried to put a cap on Instagram because I've just genuinely been spending too much time on it. And unfortunately, the phone doesn't let me do that. It's more like an overall thing. I do kind of wish it specified Wi-Fi as well, rather than just like overall screen time. But because I am trying to get into the habit of like not leaving the Wi-Fi on, and so like downloading tracks onto like Tidal whenever I want to like ambience when I'm falling asleep. Anyway, we are also like at. I woke up this morning and it was like 95% of storage full, and I think I've cleared enough cache now that we're at 93. But we're in trouble. We're in real big trouble because the videos I need to put together are going to be much bigger than. I thought I'd been very smart in saying put off updates for a week. I think it's forcing Windows 11 now. The only thing better than a midnight snack is like a very seasonal midnight snack. Mum used to make toffee apples when I was young, and I loved them, but she stopped pretty much as soon as I kind of grew out of that age. Which is a shame. We weren't great at it, and the toffee did go white more often than not, but I really liked that. So I will say those 4 albums were actually very disappointing. Fergie's was the one that I liked the most, but they were all. I liked the ones that I already knew, but they were all a lot more ballady than I expected. So for the past 4 days, I have actually had a timer on my phone for like 5 hours, and I've managed to keep it until yesterday, when I think I was like 7 hours over, because I was editing the fucking reading vlog, and I don't know what it is, but I just can't do voiceover well. That cadence is not natural, and I cannot read it sound natural. But the storage has gone from 243.5 to 239.0, which I was hoping to save more space after deleting that, but I guess not. I think that December video is going to be in trouble because it is almost 100 video clips, and we're not done. I don't know if we're going to have enough storage for it.